Willie D Live.
What's up, family? Jimmy Townsend will not let the story of him and Steve Harvey's wife, Marjorie, die anytime soon. The formerly incarcerated drug kingpin was married to Marjorie when he was convicted in 1992 on federal charges of conspiracy to possess with the intent to distribute cocaine and possession with the intent to distribute cocaine, and sentenced to life in prison. The two divorced in 2002 and share adult children, Morgan and Jason. Jimmy, a Memphis native like his ex, was granted a second chance at a free man's life when President Barack Obama commuted his sentence the day before leaving office on January 19, 2019. According to the Bureau of Prisons records, Jimmy Townsend was released a year later. Rumors alleging that Marjorie and her husband, Steve Harvey, played a pivotal role in his release has been running amok, but Jimmy says that ain't true. They had nothing to do with it. Although they were in position to do something about it, they left me out to hang dry. They would not use their power to help me out. Now, one might think, what do they owe him? Are they responsible for locking him up? Others may say, well, hell, damn, she is the mother of his children. At least not for her. Do it for the children. That's kind of where I stand at. It's the father of your children. If you got any type of power, any type of influence that you can use to give him a break, help him out. Because here's the thing, no matter what went down with you and him, between you and him, no matter what went down, you signed up for it. That's right, I said it. She knew she had a drug kingpin as a baby daddy. She knew. And she rocked with it the entire time until she couldn't rock with it anymore. When the heat got hot in the kitchen, Marjorie got up out of there. So I'm saying, I get it, self-preservation, try to save yourself and the kids. Ain't no use to them taking everybody down. Don't take everybody down, I get it. Don't take everybody down. But at the very least, use your influence, use your power to get a man a break if you can. But at the same time, the way I operate, fam, if you ever find yourself in the type of jam with the authorities and you end up in jail, it's all on you. Don't put it on anybody else. That way you can do your time better. Because if you put it on somebody else, you're going to be bitter as hell. You're going to be mad because you're going to feel like somebody owes you something. And while that might be nice to have somebody owe you something and somebody to come through, in my mind, hey, I'm all on my own. And I'm not looking for anybody to come visit me. I'm not looking for anybody to give me any money, put anything on my books, anything, because I'm going to make something shake. Just like I did in the free world, I'm going to make something shake behind those walls. I know dudes who call themselves being real hustlers in the free world, but once they got in jail, they couldn't figure out a hustle. They couldn't figure out a way. I'm talking about a legal hustle, because that's ways to hustle in jail legally. You can get money. All you got to do is use whatever talent that you have. Even if you don't know how to draw, you don't know how to make, shoes or hats or, leather medallions. If you don't know how to do tattoos, hey, run a card game. That ain't necessarily illegal, but that ain't something that they gonna give you some extra time for either. Put together a board for the games. You got football season, you got baseball season, you got basketball season, whatever it is. It's all kinds of ways to get money when you're locked up. I'm talking about getting money where it ain't gonna cost you more time. I know a white supremacist who was locked up, who was washing drawers. Yeah, a black man. Yeah, real talk. Would have made him wash mine, but I didn't want to pay him. Yeah, I did not want to give him any money. I didn't want to give him any help, and I wasn't going to play the extortion game doing all of that stuff, it wasn't. But yeah, I was like, I thought about it. Nah, I ain't giving him no money. I could have went there though on the other end. But anyway, fam, it's amazing how people will adjust their convictions, how flexible one might become once he finds himself doing time. This dude had an entire swastika on his neck, a whole swastika, like boom, you can't miss it. And he going around collecting the drawers of black men. Well, they had other clothes too, but I gotta say drawers because it sounds more insulting. Grabbing the drawers of black men and washing them. He got a whole swastika on his neck and the white power thing on his back. He didn't show that too much. Caught him slipping one day. In any event, at the end of the day, would it have been the noble thing for Marjorie to do, to use her influence, to use the influence of her new husband to help spring her children's father? That would have been cool, super cool. But it's an old saying, hell knows no fury like a woman scorned. Shit, what did he do to her that was that bad that made her not want to offer him any help? Remember, y'all, she had 2 kids with him, so he couldn't have been all that bad. And if he was, didn't she sign up for it? You did? Like, I could not leave the mother of my child hanging like that. I couldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. I guess I'm a nice guy. Yeah, because no matter how I feel about her, my kids love her. That's my kid's mother. So I would not leave her out there hanging like that. I would use whatever influence I have to try to get her time knocked down, and also try to make her comfortable while she in there. I'm just not savage like that. I can be savage, don't get me wrong now. I can be savage to a real enemy. I can be savage. But when it comes to relationships, I just know how to take my bitter with my sweet and never lean too much on the bitter. The good for me in every relationship I've ever been in has always outweighed the bad. But what say you, fam? Drop a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts. No more talk.